Welcome to the Profitable Hypnosis Business, where experts, top experts, share their kick-ass money-making strategies and success habits. Are you ready to turn your business into a business that creates cash flow and gives you the life you want? And hear from influencers and entrepreneurs like you who are excited to share their strategies they've used to create a successful business. If your answer is yes, sit back, get ready to grow and learn and be inspired. This episode today on the Profitable Hypnosis Business is offering you the secrets from one of the world's experts on how to stay connected with your clients. And I'm so thrilled to interview Shelia Granger today. Thank you so much for being here with us, Shelia.
It's brilliant being here, Karen.
You are truly one of my favorite people. I see you on Facebook all the time. I see you at conferences, and I love the love that you exude. So thanks again for being here. And I am Karen Bird, your host from Win with Hypnosis, performance mindset coach, and you might know me as the Attitude of a Champion trainer. I put together this online event to bring you some of the best experts from around the world who are going to share their number one secrets on how to consistently and successfully bring in more clients, see more success, and kick ass in their business and their lives. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about Shelia. She's a UK-based hypnotherapist and built a practice to 35 clients a week from a standing start in under just 2 years. She learned fast the value and importance of staying connected, which is what we're going to talk about. And she is the IMDHA 2019 Hypnotist of the Year, author of 2 Amazon bestselling titles, How to Build a Hypnotherapy Business and No More Diets. And we're going to talk a little bit about her book too, and she's offering a special offer for that. And her worldwide hypnotherapy business is regularly featured in press articles globally and has been recognized in numerous business awards. And her mission is to simply make a difference. And I know that Shelia has been recognized in the news and papers and media many, many, many times. And you can find all that information because Sheila's out there and is so generous and willing to share everything she knows. So yeah, go ahead and reach out to Shelia. And I'm just going to ask a few questions. Again, thank you so much for your time and for being here with us.
You're welcome. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to pick your brain a little bit. And the first question I have for you, Shelia, is how does keeping in touch with your clients work in practice?
Well, if you think about it, sometimes we can have a little bit of a flawed business model, really, in that we're in the business of fixing people, aren't we? And that's okay, but, you know, if we fix people, then we've got to go and find somebody else to fix, and somebody else to fix, and somebody else to fix. Now, I'm not for 1 minute saying that we shouldn't fix people, because that would be wrong and it would be unethical. But often, you know, if we say to a client, you know, we do the work and then we say, bye-bye, you know, let me know if you need me, you know where I am. You know, in effect, we've just fired our client.
Yes.
And we've got to go and find another one. And often, you know, we might do some work with a client whereby, you know, perhaps it might be for weight loss. And we've seen somebody for 4 weeks and they haven't lost all the weight that they want to lose by then. They might have developed a new set of habits and routines. But, you know, we're not offering somebody anything else, you know, that client anything else. And so if we don't offer it, how do they know that there's anything available? They just think you've done your work, that's it. They think you can't do anything else. Whereby, so there's a number of ways that, you know, if we were to either offer that client something else, it might be some kind of continuity program, you know, it might be reinforcement sessions, you know, that's just one way of offering that person something else, so we don't just sack them.
Yeah, you're right. I completely agree. And in the beginning, I remember thinking that I was upselling them and they didn't want to spend more money to come back. But as we learn how valuable our services are, and this is exactly what you're saying, we're actually offering them something that they're looking for because they don't realize how much more we can give them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it is a case of letting people know what it is that you can do or what services are available. So this isn't in any way selling something that somebody doesn't want or need.
Yeah.
You know, because somebody might say, no, I'm okay, and that's fine too. But, you know, we're expecting our clients to ask us about it as opposed to we letting people know what's available.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like, you know, when you go and buy a car, perhaps they'll say, you know, do you want such and such a coating on the paint? Do you want, you know, this valet service? Do you want services booked in advance? You know, you start off with a basic price, don't you? And then they'll put all these other things. And some of the things that they say to you, and you know what's happening, you know, they think, hang on, they're upselling me all this stuff. But, you know, some of those things you might think, yeah, I've not thought about that. That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, that would suit me to have that in advance. So, yes, I'll take that bit, but I don't want those bits. And in a way, it's the same way. We're just letting people know what this might look like, and that it's available for them if that suits them.
Yes, exactly. You're just offering them. Yes, I love that. So how do you implement that into your business? Tell us a little bit more about the details of how we would do that.
Well, you know, when we talk about keeping in touch with people, you know, there's a few levels that I do it from the very start. So from the very start, when somebody comes to see me, you know, we fill out a registration form to begin with. And on that registration form, they're going to tell me about the problem that they've got, that they've come for the solution for. But I will also ask, you know, do you suffer with any depression? Do you suffer with anxiety? Have you got any panic attacks? You know, so, and I've got that information to then, I might have something in the future that might suit them, and maybe on a mailing list or something that would bring them back in. So I'll already have a ready-made list of people who've got phobias or fears, or, you know, so if I had some special offer on something, I could let people know, and I know the people that have got that. The second thing is about, you know, we tend to find out everything there is to know about our clients. So we know where they work, we know, you know, what if they've got any children, we know if they've got any hobbies. So I always think, you know, we should make the most of every client that's sitting in front of us, because I find that one client always leads me to the next opportunity. So, you know, you have to think about at what point you might ask the client if they'd be willing to give you a testimonial. So that obviously helps your business forward. And a client can say no to any of this, because I'm not pushy in any way, shape or form. I just have a conversation with them. But we tend to find that, you know, our clients really like us because we've really helped them, even though they paid for that service. You know, that they're willing to help you as well. And the other thing is, you know, if, for example, when I talk about, you know, the opportunities, if you know that, you know, this person's got two children, they go to X sports team, well, could I go and give a presentation to that sports team on the mindset of things, or the psychological skills of success? Because that person can then introduce you to your next opportunity all the time. Or they might have, you know, where they work, you know, could they introduce you to the HR department about introducing a wellbeing program? So that client can lead you in a whole load of directions.
Yeah.
So the other thing as well is the doctor. You know, I'd say, you know, can you give me a doctor's name and address? Do I have your permission to contact them? And so then when every client, I will then, as long as they've given me permission to contact them, as soon as I finish the program, I will automatically write to their doctor. And, you know, this, dear Dr. So-and-so, your patient, name and address, this lady attended for her symptoms of anxiety. I'm pleased to inform you, following a hypnotherapy program, she's now reported a marked improvement in these symptoms. So, you know, that one person is putting like the spider's web out, if you like, of other opportunities. So and then you might offer something else at the end of the program, but then it's okay, how do I then keep in touch with this client as well?
Exactly. And so what I'm hearing you say is not only keeping in touch with that client, because that client is probably going to need you again or might need you again, but getting those referrals is a no-cost way, right? Referrals from your clients is a no-cost way to just continue your business. And when they see success, they want to tell others about it. But sometimes they just need that little seed that says, who else can I talk to? Or can I talk to your team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I say it's all, you know, it's making the most out of that relationship. You know, if you think, I mean, I do a lot of formal business networking as well, where, you know, you are standing up in a room and saying, you know, this week I'd like to speak to the head teacher of such and such a school because I'd like to blah, blah, blah. But we can network with our clients as well, because we know, and who is the best person to introduce us to their HR manager at work than the person who's just, you've done the work with and they've experienced the results of it. You know, they're going to be your biggest advocate and they can open the door, as opposed to, you know, us having to cold call an organisation. You know, if I cold called the HR manager of an organisation, they'd be like, yeah, not interested, thanks. Because, you know, they don't know me, you know, I would really have to sell my services to get my foot in the door. Whereas if somebody just toddles up to them at work and say, oh, I've been working with this lady and doing such and such, it's been brilliant, this is what's happened, this is what's changed, you know, do you think you could have a phone call with her? Yeah, right, then I'll have a phone call with her.
Yeah, exactly. So would you mind sharing with us, this might be a little bit of secret, but I know you're so generous. What would you say a percentage of your business is referrals?
I would say that probably 80% is on referrals.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't do any paid advertising.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I occasionally might run some Facebook ads, but, you know, Facebook ads are all right for events. But, you know, to actually bring somebody in fresh out the gate, you know, you might do an ad for something, but then you've got to still build that relationship before it might become a client.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, all that I'm doing is all no cost strategies. Cost you nothing.
Yes. I remember when I was working in marketing, the big phrase was, it's easier to keep a client than gain a client. And that's pretty much what you're saying, is staying connected, right?
Yeah, stay connected. And then, you know, when your client does leave you, then, you know, finding a way to keep that relationship going. You know, how can we continually give more value to people? How can we carry on? Just because they're not paying you anymore doesn't mean you can't carry on giving value and, you know, influence in their life.
And so you send emails out, you keep them in your Facebook group. How do you do that?
Yeah, so I might be, you know, so they might be, they get, you know, a text message on their birthday. You know, they might get a handwritten card in the post, you know, because yes, I do send emails, and, you know, I might do free downloads of different things that I think might benefit them that will go out. So I do keep in touch with them that way. But, you know, in this day and age now where we're so technologically driven, you know, can you remember the days? You're maybe not as old as me, Karen. I'm not sure. But I used to love it when I got an email. It was like, oh, I've got an email. You know, it was all exciting. Whereas now it's like, oh, how many emails have I got now? And if we get something in the post, it's like, oh, I've got something in the post. It's become the other way on, hasn't it? It used to be like, oh, there's all this post and bills, and oh, I've got an email. So now it's completely flips the other way around.
You're right. I didn't think about that, but you're right.
Yeah, but, you know, whereas now, you know, if an envelope, not we can tell what our bills are, but if an envelope that looks like a birthday card lands, it's like, oh, who's written to me? Who's got, you know? So it's nice to actually have something that's a little bit more personal.
Yeah, that little personal touch goes a long way.
It really does. So, you know, during the COVID period, you know, all of my old clients were all sent a personal handwritten card. Not to sell anything to them, not to say, oh, I've got this offer on such and such, just to say, thinking about you in this time, hope everything's okay, I'm here. Just a personal touch. Because what you're really doing is, yes, you are caring, of course you are, but you're keeping yourself front of mind with people. And we've got to find enough ways to keep, and if we keep connecting with our clients, and it's interesting because, you know, for the last couple of weeks, you know, we're just coming out of restrictions here in the UK. I'm sure we'll end up back in them again, but I don't know, we're supposed to be coming out of them. And my client numbers have really rocketed again. Yes, some completely new people, but a lot of those are people who have seen me in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's only because I've kept this constant stream of, you know, emails of things of value, personal messages, you know, that they thought, oh yeah, I must get in touch with her. You know,
Yeah.
we've kept ourselves front of mind.
Mm-hmm. And what I'm hearing from you is it's just a matter of leading from generosity. Is, you know, I just want to reach out and say I care, and being generous with your time, and staying connected that way. And that is what develops your business.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's about it's about relationships with people. It's all about that magic word of relationships. And you know, if we can give as much as possible in that relationship, then you know, call it the universe or the business or whatever, but it seems to have a way of paying you back. And interestingly enough, you know, talk about these cards that went out to clients. My mum is 92 years old. And so they haven't been able to leave the house for about 3 or 4 months, of mum and dad. And about 2 weeks into the lockdown over here, my mum rang me and she was so happy and excited with herself. And she said, you know, I took a phone call today from this beauty salon. And she said, I've only ever been in once. And she'd been to have her eyebrows done. So a really low cost job, if you like, that they've done. But you know, the lady who owns the salon had just rung me up just to say, you know, we're just ringing our customers up just to see if you're all right and whether we can do anything for you, all right, for any shopping, you know. Now, who is my mum going to ring as soon as she can, you know, who is she going to go back to as soon as she can? You know, those businesses that reached out and are just, you know, made that a little bit of a difference or brightened somebody's day or offered something that isn't, you know, you're not selling, you know, you're just, you know, giving them a bit of yourself.
Yep, exactly. And I know that I have, not with every client, but I do on occasion, I will call a client the day after that I've seen them for their first session and just say, how are you doing? Because I've had doctors do that after a surgery or after something important or maybe a root canal. And it feels very personal. And you really do remember that forever. And I know that when I've done that with clients, they are so appreciative. And it's a quick 2-minute phone call.
Yeah, and I mean, these days as well, you know, even, you know, if you don't want to do phone calls, you know, one of the ways of interaction these days is video.
Yes.
And, you know, so, and it's even down to inquiries. You know, if you take a client inquiry from somebody who drops you an email to how much sessions are, whatever, then the best thing you can do is take out these little devices that we all have and just press record and, you know, say, oh, hi, Shelia Granger here. You know, just to let you know, I've got your email asking about services. You know, what I'd really like to offer you is just a complimentary consultation to see if hypnosis is right for you. You know, so I thought I'd send you a video just so you can see who I am, say hello. Just make it just off the cuff, you know, because what they've done then is connected with you immediately as a person.
That is a great idea.
And, you know, and they've thought, oh, wow, you know, so she seems okay. She hasn't got two heads, you know.
She looks normal.
Yeah, that's a normal person. And the businesses that are using video now to do those kind of personal messages with people are absolutely seeing the benefits of it. And again, you know, I noticed it the first time, actually, my car had gone into the Mercedes garage for a service. And it had gone in at the beginning of the day, and I picked up this text message partway through the day from Mercedes, and I thought, this is odd, why they sent me a video? And it was a video of the serviceman going around my car. And it was like, oh, hello, my name's John, and I'm just underneath the car now, it's on the ramp, and I'd just like to show you this bit, this bit, this bit. And actually, when I got the video, I was thinking, oh my goodness, that means that's a mega bill coming. He's just pointing out, is he pointing out all the bits that are wrong with it, you know? But anyway, it wasn't, but it was just, that's their way of doing the personal touch.
That is amazing. Yes.
Yeah, so just little things like that, or it might be the day after the first session. You know, you might want to drop them a quick, you know, oh, hi, Sheila, just wanted to say, see how we're getting on today. You know, to let you know, you were absolutely brilliant yesterday on your hypnosis session. I don't normally say that to people on the first session, but, you know, you were absolutely a superstar. You'll have no problem with this at all. And because we all want to be good at things. So even if we've just done the absolute worst hypnosis session ever, where they haven't shown a single sign that they've gone into hypnosis, you know, they've been your worst nightmare clients, I'm still going to say to them, do you know, you were absolutely brilliant.
You did wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. I love it. They don't know. Yes.
Yeah, they don't. And you're wearing a label that says that you're the expert.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So even if they might be thinking, oh, do I feel any better or not? They're going to think, well, actually, she just sent me a video to say that I was brilliant. So
right.
maybe it's all
She's
right.
the expert, you know. You're the expert, right?
Yeah.
I love
so
it.
how can we be that kind of, you know, caring, positive influence on other people's lives? Because, you know, our job, we're making changes, but our job is to make somebody feel good.
Yes.
You know, how can we put a smile on somebody's face today?
Yeah. I love that. That is so true. That is so true. I have another question for you, but before I do that, I just wanted to mention, I love that you use the bits word. And when every time you say that, because we all know that, Sheila, you are the institutor of, the queen of the gastric band, the virtual gastric band. And I always think of your bits and bobs in the bucket. Every time you say that, it's helping me lose weight, because I imagine the bits and bobs in the bucket.
Yes. Those bits and bobs.
I just had to bring that up because it made me smile.
Yeah. Actually, normally you need someone like Cheryl Ullman here, who is the translator for me as well. So, you know, sometimes with my accent, people think when I say that word, if I use my broad accent, you know, it's in the bucket. And so Cheryl Ullman is normally, you know, if I'm doing a conference somewhere and I'm doing that demo, if she's there, she'll say buckets, you know, because translate for everybody else in the room the word that they think, what's that word she's just used?
I know, I love it, but it makes me think of you. And when I use that, even when I use that with my clients, because I use your program often, every time I say it, I smile.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheila. So I wanted to mention that.
You're welcome.
I love it. Can you tell us one secret that you can give us? I'm sure you have many, but 1-2 secrets of how you consistently and successfully continue to grow your business. I mean, we've got some great ones, the referrals and the generosity, but what about like maybe the mindset, as the mindset secret?
Yeah, I think we all need to have some kind of accountability. Because, you know, in our own minds, and even in my little mind, you know, I can come up with great ideas. We can all, I think, see so many different areas where we could take hypnosis, or things that we could do with it, or, you know, we'll all have some, you know, really great ideas. And there are lots of places we can take it and lots of things that we can do. But is that actually going to grow your business? If that's what you're looking to do, because some people just want kind of a steady business, they're not really looking to grow it, you know, and that's okay too. So there's no rights or wrongs here. But to actually grow our business, we need to, you know, A, have the idea, and B, take action on it. And it's the take action and the continuous action that tends to be the issue. So, you know, I have an accountability partner, somebody who, so I'm not talking about a coach or a mentee, this is purely an accountability partner who I meet with every Monday without fail. And he's actually got a different business to me. He owns a networking company, business networking company. But we're about at the same level in our businesses, I would say. And he will tell me things that are going on in his business. I'll do the other way, vice versa. And often as well, when we've got somebody like that in our life, we might have a brain. I might have had a brainwave that week and think, oh, do you know, I thought about doing this. And, you know, and often sometimes even when I say it out loud, I can see how ridiculous that sounds. But when we have to back that off somebody else and justify it, we can think, is that a good thing to do or not? But also, out of those accountability meetings, I come away with 3 things that I have to have got done that week, that are going to help grow the business. Might be more than 3 things, but I have to have done them by the following week.
I love that.
So it doesn't matter how busy I am, how many clients I've got to see, whether I'm working 12-hour days or not already, I have to have also got those 3 things done.
What a gift to have someone like that you can do that with. That is a great idea, and something that we all really should and get to do with our businesses to keep us moving.
Because, if it wasn't for that, it would take me weeks longer to actually get those things done. Weeks, maybe years longer. Because you say we've all got, as we discussed before this call, we've all got a massive to-do list. And that might not just be business, it might be family, things that we've got to get done. And, the bad news is we will never, ever, ever get to the end of it, ever.
Oh, really?
That is the bad news. Because we'll have added something else to it by then, won't we? So it's like, what actually on that to-do list is going to make a difference to tomorrow? Is the things that, are we just being busy, or are we actually moving things forward? And that's where accountability. So, you could have, a coach. A coach is somebody who draws things out of you. A mentor is the one who might give you some ideas of things. But then, who's going to hold our feet to the fire? And with having that accountability, there's been times where, because sometimes in business we have to have uncomfortable conversations with people. It might be web teams that we're going to sack, or people that we're using in our business that maybe aren't that great really, and we need to move them on. But we don't really like doing that. I feel a bit uncomfortable doing that. Whereas if I've got that on my accountability list, I have to have done it by the next week.
Do the hard stuff. It gets you to do the hard stuff.
And often, I will make, if it's a phone call, I will make that phone call sitting in my car just before I'm due to go into the Monday morning meeting. Right,
because you get to be accountable, and that's, exactly. I love it.
And to the absolute 11th hour, but I think, I don't go to that meeting not having, and I could turn up and say I've not done it, but then what will be the point
of having your accountability? I love that. I'm taking that tip. That is a great number 1 secret.
So
Thank you.
Find an accountability partner, somebody who, it could be somebody in the same business as us, but somebody who's the same level as you. Because that way you are both giving equal value. You both got enough of an understanding to give equal value to it. So, you kind of both can help each other out. And then the other thing really is, I'm a big kind of planner to how I'm going to spend my time. And because, any one time, and somebody once said to me this, and I thought this really resonates with me. At any one time in the day, I am being a really rubbish business owner. I'm being a really rubbish parent or grandparent or partner. At any time in the day, I am being one of those things. Because I can't actually be a superstar at all of those things all of the time. It's not possible. So I'm very strict with my time. And, I plan in advance how my week is going to be, what's going to get done between what hours. I'm really regimented on the hours, if I've got a piece of marketing to write, when is that actually going to be written? And then during that, so I block time throughout the week. And if I've got a block time piece, turn my email off, I'm not answering any phone calls, nothing. I'm just getting this done. And my family even know, this sounds really bad, my family even know, do not bother ringing me between these hours, because I am not going to pick up the phone to you. So unless this is an emergency, which of course is different, but I'm being a business owner at that point. That demands all of my attention. It can't be when we get constantly interrupted, we can't be as productive. Whereas if we block our time and we're really strict on our time, then you know, and then it's also, you know, I can allocate time to being a partner. I can allocate time
Mm-hmm.
to being a, you know, a mum or a grandma, or
Yeah.
but you know, it's not just a blend. It can't
Right.
be.
Yep. And we do find that those few hours of focus time, we can get 3 times more done than if we didn't have that blocked off for our focus time.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Or
absolutely.
if you've got something that, you know, you think, oh yeah, I do need to get that done. It's like immediately deciding when you're actually going to do it. So
Mhm.
if it's something like, I don't know, you're revamping something on your website, or something like that, then it's looking in your diary and thinking, when am I actually going to do that? So we're moving it off our to-do list
Mhm.
onto, okay, that's going to happen between the hours of 9 and 12 on Wednesday, or, you know.
Right. Yes.
Um, and out to say allocating the time out to the when.
Yeah. Knowing you'll get it done and
Yeah,
you'll do what it
yeah,
takes to get it done. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I love it. Those are some really great secrets. Accountability partner and block your time, schedule your time, and get done your top priorities on that list. Right? Awesome.
Like,
Good. So you are generously offering us a free gift, and the gift is how to build a hypnotherapy business, which I'm really excited to get my hands on, which the link is on the bottom of the screen here. Can you tell us a little bit more about your offer, Sheila?
yeah, so last year I published How to Build a Hypnotherapy Business. And, you know, this covers, you know, all the things that I did. Because, you know, we're all different to how we got to where we get to. And, you know, what strategies we use and what marketing techniques we use. And
Mhm.
basically, I've, you know, warts and all, have written how I did it. None of the things that I talk about involve any cost implication, just time, you know. So, you know, I cover all the main things that really helped me build that practice in under 2 years. And, you know, I always say, you know, there isn't anything special about me. You know, I've just worked at it. That's all, you know. And I continue to learn all the time. And so because, you know, obviously this conference is worldwide, what I'd have to do rather than post the book out is, I mean, I'll put it on the link where people can just pay for postage, and that's fine. And I can actually physically ship the book. If not, it can just be the PDF of it, and people can go through the PDF.
That is perfect. And that's exactly what the summit is all about, is how to build your hypnotherapy business. So thank you for that piece of gold. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. PDF is awesome. You know, if they want to order a book, they can order a book, but I appreciate that. I know
Yeah,
our
welcome.
awesome. So the link is right here on the bottom of the screen. And we are going to definitely all take advantage of that. And I want to thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to share that I haven't asked you, Sheila, with the audience? We're good. We had lots of great information.
I think we're good.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you know, I always try to make myself as available as possible for people. And, you know, I'm always happy to, you know, share whatever I know with somebody else. So, you know, if anybody's watching this, listening, who thinks, oh, well, you know, can you give me any advice on this thing, you know, about building a business? I'm, you know, more than happy to have half-hour Zoom calls with people, or, you know, wherever people are in the world, because, you know, it's always good to be able to, I think in life, in any one day, we should do 3 things. The first thing is, you know, who can you give a leg up to? Who can we give a leg up to? And that might be, you know, in business, it might be family, friends, you know, a client, whatever person in the street, you know, who can we give a leg up to? So we should spend some of our time, a third of our time, giving a leg up to people. A third of our time probably with people who are on, you know, the same level as we are. And then, you know, how do we also spend time with people who are where we want to be? You know, because we are the product of all those things. So, you know, my way of, you know, giving people a leg up if I can in our profession is to say, just contact me. I'll give you some advice if at all possible.
Yep. I love that. And I'm in the same boat, is, you know, helping others to get where we're at is awesome. And then I like the third and the third and the third. Those that are, you know, at the same level, and those are at a different level, because that's how we grow also.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks. And thanks for getting us in your schedule. And I know all of us really appreciate all of that amazing wisdom and information that you gave us as a very successful entrepreneur. So thank you again. And thank you all for joining us. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Sheila.